What is up, guys? You're watching blastaway.eu and today it's about the AWP Sniper Rifle kit for the Nerf Retaliator. Starting with the looks, the sniper rifle is really long and I think it's the longest one in my possession. And of course it's the barrel that actually contributes to this fact, which you can remove with a little twist and just pull it out. The lower part of the barrel just works like any other Nerf attachment and you can just twist it off like you're used to. Leaving the shoulder stock, which is really long, and you just, snap it on from the back and you can secure it with a screw down here. The Picatinny rail on top actually connects to this blue part, which is part of the stock, and I'll tell you later what's like behind this concept, and for now I just take it off. And let me show you how this bolt action actually works. So whenever the bolt is in the lower position, this thing is actually locked in place and you can't do anything. So you really have to put it on the top position and then you can pull the whole thing backwards. On top we have this rail here, which connects to the priming slide, and basically you just move the pulling action to the back part. So as always, if the spring catches, it's in this back position. And here of course you can exchange or take out the magazine, and then whenever you're ready, you just push it back forward and then you can, put it down. I mean, you don't really have to, but of course it's part of the whole fun. And then you just pull the trigger. And what I really like about this kit is that the rail or the scope is not connected to this top rail, this white one, because when you prime the blaster, it just stays in place. Usually when you put a scope on the priming slide, it keeps moving whenever you prime the blaster with self-made bolt action. So this is a really nice element of the blaster or the kit. This whole kit is actually 3D printed, which makes it really time consuming, I guess. And even the barrel part is 3D printed, which in my opinion is maybe less efficient, because you can just use a PVC pipe and paint it the color you want. And even the scope is 3D printed, which is really cool. It looks awesome. It's doesn't have anything inside except of this crosshair, which is really nice. And the stock is really cool. It's awesome. It's really rigid and the length is perfect for the bolt action. And what else can I say? I mean, overall the looks is just awesome. Now, putting the awesome looks aside, if we talk about the function of this blaster, or the functionality, there are some kind of downsides to this. Because, as I said, this whole thing is 3D printed, so the stock and this part, the bolt, everything is printed in this direction, layer by layer. So you have these little ridges and edges along the whole product, let's say. By scratching along the surface, you might get an idea what I'm talking about. You see? So when these two moving parts actually connect, you get a lot of friction, or even getting the edges hook into each other, and sometimes it's really hard to actually move it around. In my case, of course, I made some modifications to it. Basically, it's just using sandpaper to decrease the roughness of the surface. The other things that you can do to improve the smoothness of the whole action is to lubricate the whole area, and also I put a stripe of electrical tape down here so you don't have this roughy kind of surface. The next thing I have to mention is that the creator actually mentions that this kit is not supposed to handle a spring load above 7 kilograms. So I thought if I put a 5 kilogram spring inside, that would be more than fine. But the fact is that it doesn't really hold up. The problem here is that there's a lot of stress and tension at this point up here, and you know, as you can see, it's really small. And since the pulling force is like also leveled up, there is like some kind of lever force, you know, which makes it like even worse for this little part up here. And as a matter of fact, the printing up here is not like 100%, which means it's just like the outside and, you know, some areas. So it's kind of hollow, which makes it even worse actually if you want to use a higher spring load. But of course, if you have like this sniper setup, you want to have like real, you know, power to be released whenever you pull the trigger. So in my opinion, using a stock spring is not really an option for this awesome kit. So what I did to make it work for me is that I put on an extra piece. This is like styrene foam, which I shaped up using like some heat gun and like glued it on. So the whole weight of the pull, in this case 5 kilogram, is like a little bit more divided, like around this area. Like before, this is like just here and actually snapped on me, this whole piece. And but after this extra piece, it's actually working really nicely. The last thing I added is this little tag rail down here, which enables me to use bipods from the Nerf portfolio. Most 3D printed kits usually give you a new look and cosmetic to your blaster. Others actually kind of change the way you handle the blaster, like pump action kits for the Retaliator. And this one does combine like two worlds. You know, you change the way you operate the blaster and also the looks, which is really nice, and especially when you are into sniper rifles. This kit is now available on nfstrike.com's web store. I'll put the link in the description box below, so when you are interested, like just have a look. And they also have other nice Nerf related products, so definitely check it out. And as always, thanks for watching. I see you next time.